Mark Church. My name is Tina Taylor, and I will be your hostess with mostest this evening. So if you have a copy of the agenda in front of you, please feel free to peruse it. There are sections on it that I will not take the time to read aloud. I think that you're all, able to do that or have somebody read it to you if that's troublesome for you. So a couple of housekeeping reminders. There is a Yoda sitting on top of the treasure box, and you are welcome to put your donations in either Yoda or the treasure box. Those donations go to help us keep the lights on here and make sure that we're welcome to continue meeting here. It helps us buy supplies when we need, or occasionally to contribute to special projects. And we continue to gather food for our local food pantries. On the main island in the kitchen, if you have general pantry items, go there. If you are specifically wanting them to go to the Whetstone community, they need to be put on the back counter separately. We appreciate all of those efforts, and we'll update you on those in a few minutes. There's a handicap accessible bathroom through this door, and then there's regular bathrooms at the bottom of the stairs there. Let's see. I know that we are continuing to seek somebody who would be willing to help come early before the meeting and unlock and set up. Our previous person who has done that is overwhelmed with a few other responsibilities right now, and we are all just kind of pitching in. But if that is an area of interest for you, that you would like to come at about 6:30 on Tuesdays and help us get the meeting room ready and able to maybe help set up some snacks and things for me, that would be great. Just let me know. And with that, we will kick off the meeting. The first thing on our agenda is the action items, and although I know you are all very capable of reading it, for those of you on YouTube world, you should be able to find a copy of the agenda, both posted on the Yoopers Unite Facebook page as well as the Yoopers Unite Discord. And our email address, Zeke, is YoupersUnite at PM. Yeah. Simple 4-year-old brain here. Yoopers Unite at PM.me. Okay. YoupersUnite.pm.me. And that is the email address. So if you are unable to get into or not a member currently of the Yoopers Unite Facebook page or Discord, you could please send your information to that email, and we will, one or the other of us will find a way to get you connected so that you can have access to those things. And are we currently sending out copies of the emails through, or copies of the agenda?
Yes, agenda notes, and we're trying an email service right now, so if it works out, we'll have a better way to sign up online.
Okay, so if we're trying a platform right now for our online services, and if we decide that it's working good and user-friendly, we'll continue with that. But right now, we do try to send out the meeting notes and agendas via that email address. So, in the future, you should have access to that. But just so you know, the action items are just some suggestions of things that you could be doing independently. Check in to see if your local senior food commodity distribution needs help with all the cutbacks. We have recently had a scare in UP where all of the senior commodities were almost not delivered, and it was up to one person to take it upon herself to deliver to, I think, 3 or 4 counties. So we're working on trying to support her in her efforts, but just locally reach out and make sure that some of those services that you assume are being taken care of are actually being taken care of, and find out if there's a way you can be helpful. It's notable to those of us working with food services that oftentimes the volunteers at food pantries are all 60 plus as a young person. So getting some more lively and muscle energized people to volunteer at places like that is super important. Checking in with places like Room at the Inn to see if you can volunteer there or contribute in some way. We chose to do an adoptive family here at Yoopers Unite, and last week we chose gift tags. If you have those, you can either bring them to tonight or the 9th, is when we're wrapping up. If you brought gifts with you for that, we're collecting them just over here.
Can I add something?
You may.
For Room at the Inn, I already reached out to Jennifer and she responded and was waiting to hear from someone at Room at the Inn for when the first training will be.
The ballot proposals is a big thing. I'm sure we'll get an update in a few minutes, but being able to just contribute in your community in a lot of very small ways adds up to big movements and big changes in our growth. So don't think that you have to take on a project all by yourself. Contributing matters. The Rock the Socks program that's been a campaign here in UP for a while is prevalent through, I think, the school districts. So they're trying to give people new comfortable socks, and we think that the deadline is December 16th. I don't have that verified. But if you could purchase a sock of any size, color, gender, even the cool new kids that wear one yellow sock on one foot and one red sock on the other, however it goes, as long as they're new socks, we would appreciate any contribution of the sock program, for the sock program. December 13th has now been confirmed as the deadline for the Rock the Socks program. It is often one of the most requested items for in-need venues, whether that be the homeless shelter or senior centers, places like that. We need warm socks. So, updates from past week's events and connected organizations, food pantries. I will be reading a little card here as I described earlier, the ongoing efforts here. I think that last I heard we were over 4 tons. 4,000 pounds of donated food. This is a thank you card we received. Dear members of Yoopers Unite, thank you so much for your recent food donation to our St. Vincent de Paul Pantry in Ishpeming. It is through generous community efforts like yours that we are able to continue serving those in need of food through this holiday season. The 306 pounds of non-perishable items, including coffee, feminine hygiene products, and baby wipes or diapers, in addition to the $475 worth of perishable foods, cheese, eggs, butter, etc., will be such a treat for the households we serve. As we showed Joanne and her husband, each household receives 60 pounds of food each per month. Extra items including toilet paper, towels, or paper towels, laundry detergent, and any other items that they may need and are at hand. Our pantry serves 100 to 110 households each month, and we continue to see new faces each month. God bless each one of you for sharing in our ministry to help our greater Ishpeming community in meeting and basic human needs. And yes, we do occasionally give dog food as well. Sincerely, the Society of St. Vincent de Paul, St. John and St. Joseph Conferences in Ishpeming. I, as many of you might know, started a temporary food pantry at the Whetstone Village community, which is low-income housing here. We did it through November and will continue to do so through December for all of our residents, whether they can drive or not, but many of them don't have vehicles to get to regular food pantries. So I'm open twice a week, and I'm averaging right now between 7 to 12 families per opening. I'm open on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and I've started a sign up for Christmas baskets, and right now I have 10 families signed up that would like a Christmas basket. So the joy on these people's faces just to have a little bit extra, even those food stamps were partially funded. I know that they say they're funded, but food stamps have dropped. I'm hearing stories of moms with 3 kids whose food stamps were cut down to maybe $7 a month, to feed, 3 teenagers, and an adult. So, the need is great, and we continue to try to, serve where we can. So, appreciate all your help. We had a great potluck last week. It was a wonderful experience, and there's been some talk about maybe continuing to do that on a monthly basis here at Yoopers Unite. So if you have an interest in doing that, would you just let me know, and I'll kind of get a head count for an interest in collective potluck here. Was there something on the card campaign that we needed to talk about, Paula?
Was there any other updates from past events or connected organizations? I put that all in one little thing at the top to save paper.
Okay.
So all of that goes.
Were there any recent events that happened in the last week that somebody would like to speak on? Okay.
Did we have rush hour?
Rush Hour Resistance had 13 participants in Marquette. The other 2 were not held today because we're losing sidewalks because of the snow banks. So they just had the one in Marquette. Is there an update from the ballot proposal teams? No update? Okay. Well, I will just say that from what I know as a somewhat informed and innocent bystander, that the ballot proposals are in jeopardy of not getting on the ballot if we don't start doing the groundwork. We have to really kind of push. You can have a packet given to you. It's very easy to learn the process of getting signatures that are legal and usable. They are going to kind of I don't know what the right word is, but one of the ballot proposals had started about a month before the other 2, so at the point where the 6-month window is happening, if they feel like there's enough movement and forward progression happening, they'll just start extending the deadline by cutting off the people who maybe signed in the first month, try to contact them and get them to re-sign it. So I don't want people to give up on it. These are important initiatives for our state, and I just think that if you don't have the current information on what those 3 ballot proposals are, please take a minute to look back through previous notes from different meetings and spend a little time making sure you understand that they're so vital for the progress of our community, and I just feel so lucky that we live in a state that allows us to participate in getting ballot proposals. So, yeah. I know that NMU's tomorrow voices is those guys are real busy right now. They're wrapping up some important time on their semester schedule. So they are always thinking of us, and we are always thinking of them, and continue to try to support each other's efforts. Ruby, is there anything from We the People?
We just got our end of year celebration on the calendar for December 19th, which is a Friday, and we'll do it from 6 to, sorry. Alright, yeah. So We the People just got our end of year celebration on the calendar for December 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. and we're going to be having it in the lower level of St. Paul's Episcopal Church, where they have that big meeting space down there.
Community room.
Yeah. So see me if you want to come, and I can give you more details. Yeah, and the setup is still in process. We're figuring things out.
Are we still
Yes,
working
thank you.
on transportation issues? Are we looking at a new project, or?
Well, we did submit a document of accessibility recommendations to Mark Twain regarding the bus pass system. And we're about to send out a press release about that and the work we've done this year on that. And actually, the plan for 2026 is different. I've spoken to a couple folks about it, kind of soft pitch, and I'll be explaining more at the end of your celebration, actually. That's a big piece on the agenda.
Awesome.
Yeah, but we're thinking very hard and very deliberately and very early about how to make the most out of the opportunity of the midterms to turn some of this stuff around. So, yeah, I'm excited to share more. Don't want to say too much about it right now until I've got it all outlined for us.
Okay, awesome, thanks. Well, just yet another way for people in the community to participate in trying to make our corner of the world a better place and potentially affect a broader community as well. All right, any other last minute updates from past events or local organizations? Yep. Come on up.
Well, I'm Brad, and I'm on the steering committee of the Lake Superior Region Indivisible, and we had on November 25th, a lot of you were there at a meeting at Peter White Library in the conference room down in the basement. It was our first big organizational meeting, and we broke up into teams. We had 5 or 6 teams. We have a membership team, a team focusing on elections, call to action, and special events, and they had a meeting that's a breakout meeting of their own at 6 o'clock here tonight. Communications and technology team, and finance, which may combine with fundraising, or they may be separate teams. Anyway, mark your calendars, because January 5th is going to be our next big organizational meeting where the steering committee meets with all the teams in one room, and we get reports from what the teams are doing and talk about what's up and what's coming. So that'll be 6 o'clock, Peter White Library, January 5th. It's a Monday night, and I'll have a Mobilize link up in a few days and let people know, because we are asking people to sign up through Mobilize, because it really helps us to keep track of how many people are getting involved and stay in touch with them. We are working on getting the OSRI website back up. It's not up right now due to technical issues. We want to get that up and running and get the email function working again, because it's been a while since we were able to send an email out to the whole membership, which is 647 people. So that should be coming soon. And also, if you're interested, we still have some window claims, this design, and they've been sitting over at the table for a couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody's really talked about them, but window claims are not labels or decals. They're meant to be put on the side of a window. It could be a car window or apartment window or your living room window or somewhere facing out. You just use water to adhere it, and it can peel off. We have a number of them left. They're 12 inches by 12 inches, but there were some that are 8 by 8. Donations are appreciated, but not necessary. We really want to get the word out about No Kings and Lake Superior Region Indivisible and have people find us. And your car can be a moving billboard, and that's what we're trying. So there's another sheet. There's a sheet of instructions. So if you do take a window claim, take an instruction sheet, because it tells you how to apply these. They're pretty easy to put on and take off if you need to. That's it. And be usable. Yeah, that's it. Any questions? I will be here, so if you have any questions about the next big meeting at Peter White's Library on January 5th, or you want more information about that, how to get on a team of some kind and get busy with all the things we want to do, I'll be there. We can have a breakout table. Yeah, I'm sitting right over there, so yeah. Thanks.
Any other organizations here that would like to present or talk? I think that a question I feel like maybe hasn't been talked about, we deliberately chose to kind of put a pause on the structure and organization of Yoopers Unite for a couple weeks while we're allowing LSRI some time to build their platform and for us to get through the holidays. I just want you to know that we have not forgotten that that is on the table and unresolved. I don't know that that's the right words. But as any organization, we are always willing to continue to grow and learn and change as needed. So I would just continue, or encourage you to continue to offer input, offer your help and your guidance. And remember that we are a fully volunteer-run organization, and I don't think there's any of us that are currently actively helping to facilitate that feel like it's, there's one way to do it. So I just think it's important that you understand that you all have a voice. We're here because of you. We're here for you. We are, we are the people, and you are the people, and it's important that everybody feels like they're being heard and has an opportunity to participate. One of the things I have often said is how important it is as a disabled person that I be given the opportunity to contribute back to the society of people in the world. So giving $1 or baking cookies or making some phone calls, all of those things are important, and it makes we the people a successful venture. And I think you all have an important voice and skills, whatever they are. So offer to share them, because we don't necessarily know, and sometimes it's hard to ask for help. So, advocate for things you think are important. Come and just, let us know. Or there is a notepad in the back. It's a big tablet, and there's some sticky notes. If you have ideas and you're not the kind of person who likes to talk, write it on a sticky note and just slap around that board back there, and we will try to address it in a way that doesn't draw attention directly to you if that's not what you want to have happen. I think everybody here should have a phone number by now, but in case you don't, my phone number is 906-360-0523. And again, my email address is mamatinat@yahoo.com. I don't have all the answers, but I never mind asking questions and trying to help people research. So if there's things that you feel that I could be helpful, please let me know, because it's important to me that I feel useful. So give me that honor of helping you. Okay? So that brings us to, I guess, I see a note down here also about the t-shirts. So in addition to the window clings, there are still a couple of t-shirts on the back table that are free of charge if you need them, but they have also in stock at the printer place sweatshirts. So please consider helping the efforts of having a LSRI and Yoopers Unite sweatshirt. Are you wearing one? Yep. So they have a pay it for it program. You could offer to contribute. You don't even have to buy the whole thing. You could just contribute some monetary amount, and if 3 people contribute, then it equals 1 sweatshirt, and somebody that can't afford one would then benefit. So consider that as an opportunity. There's a list here of upcoming events. One of the things I don't think that made it onto the list, the Rise Up Indivisible of Iron County is helping to host a Makers Market on Saturday, December 6th at the Windsor Craft Fair. A lot of the members of the Rise Up Indivisible are going to have booths and be vendors at that event. So if you're in Iron County and would like to pick up some local craft items and whatnot. Consider the Makers Market, on December 6th. The flyer for it was posted in both the Discord and should, I think by now, be in the Facebook group for towns and things like that. Tori, what was your hand raised for? Oh, sorry.
I didn't really have a better time, but I'll just take care of it now. With the winter coming up, I am looking at some possibilities for people that are not able to make it out as often for still participating. I would like to lead a breakout group for that today. Right now I'm looking at like a mixed Zoom and YouTube stream, so that way people that cannot make it out but still have something to say, we don't have to wait for someone to notice in the chat. With that though comes, I need more people to help me make sure everything's working right. I need to make sure I have more backups because frankly I live on KSR base and we tend to be like the last people plowed out in the county. That kind of stuff. So if you have any interest in having a say of like how that works for when people can't show up, what we are and aren't doing, or helping with that, I'll be leading a breakout for that.
So there's another, few things listed under periodic events.
I thought you were done with that. I had something I wanted to mention.
Would you like to mention it now?
Yeah.
I can jump around.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
No, I can't jump. If I left the ground, it would be bad.
Something you said a little bit ago, we're here for you because of you, reminded me that both the radio station and the TV station, public TV, public radio, are obviously always in need of funds. But right now, till midnight tonight, any donation that you make is doubled because of an organization. I can't remember I don't remember the name. Yeah, they are matching any donation. So if you're a public radio, public TV fan, and you were thinking about doing a donation, try to do it before midnight tonight to have your donation doubled. That's all.
Thank you. If you have updates or things you would like, disseminated, that is our whole job here at Yoopers Unite, is to help disseminate information. So please continue to give us those types of, community resources, community efforts, so that we can help spread the word for you. Was there a date decided for the candlelight vigil thing?
Yes. It's still pending approval by the city council.
Okay.
So,
Can we have her save the date?
yeah, we can have a city council. It's the Saturday between Christmas and New Year's.
The 27th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that would be like 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay. We are LSRI is trying to put together an event for a candlelight vigil for the disappeared, and we are reserving the potential to have that on December 27th in Marquette. More information to come as it becomes available and we actually get it approved. But if you would like to save the date for December 27th in Marquette for the disappeared in our world, we are going to be doing some kind of a memorial or candlelight vigil, which has some beautiful things going to potentially be happening with some music and visual kinds of things. So, breakout groups, Paula?
You said it earlier, and I just jumped in, the card campaign. So I put down card campaign again to remind people that there is a website, and on this web, there's a Facebook page that's very active also. But the card campaign, they make cards. There are some right now for senators, I think, maybe House of Reps, about the ACA subsidies that are actually postcards. But otherwise, they have printouts, and you can print them in a couple different formats, like 4x6 or 8x12, and they actually have distribution, like where to leave them, how to leave them. They are filled with facts, and then they have a QR code so that you can see where they got their facts. This has been going on. It was Heather Cox Richardson had talked about it about a year or more ago. And so one of her readers went, we should do this because back in history, there was this card writing campaign that got things moving. And so this person who lives in Chicago, so she was also a great resource to give us what was going on. ICE was right in her neighborhood. She was talking about that on her Facebook page. But she decided to take that on and has developed this website. There are all kinds of different cards on there. They're wonderful if you are unsure, so like the Supreme Court, there's different, it's an assortment, and it's just a good place to go if you want a refresher, or maybe it's not even a refresher. Like for me, many times it's like, I don't know any of this, I need to look at something to get me started. So that's what the card campaign is. I had plans to print out some postcards, but I already made one extra trip home, and I still forgot the food donation and my socks, so they didn't come either tonight.
She has socks on her feet. It's right on the. So if you do card campaign, if you Google card campaign, I think, well, your algorithm might be different than mine, but it's also on the.
We will make sure that the card campaign information is in the notes
Yeah,
for
and it's on the
tonight's
agenda.
meeting. It's on the agenda, so if you need further information.
Okay, so looking into then breakout groups, we're going to have an LSRI breakout group here in the center. If you would like to talk about food resources, or volunteer to bring snacks for next week, to which, please know that I'm not going to be here next week. It's another trip back downstate for medical stuff for me, but I have a second hostess with the mostest going to be covering for me, but we do need some volunteer to bring snacks. So I will be at that back table. You can find me for that. Or if you are interested in volunteering to be our building opener helper, you can also talk to me about that. If you are interested in campaign petitions, you could come to this back, the very back corner. They have the packets and microcirculation packets, and we'd be happy to help you with anything needed from that respect. And is there any other, yeah?
If anybody wants to touch base about the adopted family stuff, you can come talk to me, please. If you guys took us no paper raising, make sure you have it at the meeting next week for sure. You can either bring your gift wrapped or unwrapped if you wanna wrap it. Here next week, I can bring some wrapping paper and stuff like that, and bring it.
Did all of the tags get taken?
I did touch base about a couple things. The only outstanding thing was the sewing mannequin, which I was hoping maybe get some thoughts or feedback on people that sew. It's like they range from like $50 to like, I guess like really expensive, but some of the adjustable ones are about $150. I don't know anything about sewing, so I don't know if it's like they're very expensive, and I don't know if it's like worth like, you know, like you buy a cheap one and it's just like, why basically useless, or if you buy one that's like.
So what we're talking about is our adopted family art for Christmas. If you took a tag and you have the gifts, we need to have the gifts here by next week. And that there is a potential, we are looking for information or potentially a purchase of a sewing mannequin for the mom who is taking classes or is somehow involved with trying to be self-sufficient and supporting her family with sewing. So back table, if you would like to have further information or discuss any of our adopted family. Any other, yep.
Subway to commemorate January 6th.
Okay. So one of the
action items for LSRI discussion was to do some type of a, day of recognition, remembrance for January sixth, which is coming up fast. So, if you would like to contribute thoughts, or volunteer to participate in whatever ends up happening, it's completely a blank slate right now. If you are passionate about trying to make sure that we never forget what happened, in our capital on January sixth, could we, that table, the middle table is gonna be LSRI, so should we have a separate table, or are you gonna be all together?
Separate table.
Okay, so
And also combining with the pop-up, the regular pop-ups we do every week.
the pop-ups that we do every other week,
Same thing.
and a specific January sixth event of some kind, could we come up to this little front table right here? Okay. Any other breakout tables needed? Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, the, idea for, support for our, technical, online platforms to be able to broadcast Yoopers Unite meetings weekly, can be at this front table right up here. So if you have information you want to help, support, or if you have suggestions, or you just wanna come and hear about it, go to that front table. And, I apologize that I didn't put on a great smorgasbord tonight, but there are a few snacks and a few choices. There's hot beverages, there's decaf coffee, regular coffee, and a few tea selections, and hot water for chocolate. So make sure you, help yourself to a refreshment. Remember that food is a love language, and it happens to be one I speak very well. So, thanks for coming, everybody. And there's healthy food too.
Yeah.
Okay, good? Okay, thanks, guys.